Now, I, myself, have a particular issue with listening parties. There's a reason I never plan to go to one, and I never have, and I never will, and there's only been 2. Now, for those of you who look at the listening parties as something that's really cool and fun to go to, that's great. I don't have an objective issue with it. But I myself will never go to one, and here's why. When an album comes out, when a piece of music or art comes out that is important in the way that it clearly is to you and to me, given that we're all here tonight, spending time discussing this album and this music, I think it's important, I find it important, to sit with that piece of art, that sound, with that new album or that new song in the most controlled environment possible. And for me, that means sitting in silence. Nothing but the sound, the music, preferably coming through a surround sound system. So the idea of a listening party has never really appealed to me. Now again, if it's something you really enjoy, I think that's great. I don't think there's anything actually wrong with them. In fact, I think they're really a good idea because they help drive people into physical stores to buy physical media, which I'm a big proponent of, as I'm sure you can see from everything behind me. Wow, messed that up. But I just don't like that they happen before the album comes out. I would very much like to see a listening party that took place after Breach was out, after Clancy was out. Now, that's not to say that you can't have the other listening parties before the album comes out too, and I understand it's probably a lot to coordinate 2 separate listening parties. You know, one the week before the album comes out, one the week after. But they could even do them on anniversaries, you know, put out an exclusive anniversary pressing of a vinyl for an album that you could only get if you went to the listening parties. And I think that would be a really cool way of driving interest back to an album that's a bit older and driving traffic back to a physical record store, supporting those physical record stores, and, you know, encouraging the purchase of physical media. Yes, so exactly, as Tom said, the exclusive stuff looks cool, but I just am hesitant to go and experience an album like this, or Clancy, or any other album by 21pilots, in an uncontrolled environment in a record store, where we're listening to the music coming out of the speakers, and there's people bustling around, and you might not catch everything that's being played. And with that said, I think it's a really great thing that they do it for people who prefer that experience when listening to an album for the first time, prefer having a community to receive the music together with. So I don't have a problem with listening parties in and of themselves. I don't have a problem with them from an objective standpoint, but I don't think I will ever go to one myself. I think they're too crowded, but I would definitely go to one that took place after Breach had come out.